Samantha and Sky, there's a story here that caught my attention earlier during the news review that's quite troubling. This is on the High Street Journal, Sky.
Okay, yeah, go on.
Okay, good. So it says that the agriculture booms, but food prices surge, and economists insist situation calls for deeper probe. Story goes on to say that despite a 6.6 growth in agriculture, food prices in Ghana remain high, prompting experts like Professor Peter Kote to call for deeper investigations into supply chain inefficiencies beyond crop production gains. Right, so the details are that Ghana's agricultural sector saw a very remarkable growth in the first quarter of 2025, recording a growth of a whopping 6.6%. Ironically, however, this boom does not reflect in the prices of food on the market as food inflation remains elevated. Latest GDP data published by the Ghana Statistical Service revealed that the agricultural sector, with the support of the services sector, was the main driver of the 5.3 growth of the economy. Very impressive. Moreover, within the agriculture sector, two subsectors, that is crop and livestock, recorded remarkable growth. So there is massive opportunity in the crops and livestock area within the agriculture sector, which we'll be getting into, telling you more about the opportunities and how you can harness them. For example, the crop subsector recorded 6.7% growth, while livestock recorded 5.6% growth during the period under review. So this growth in agriculture comes on the back of significant expenditure by the government. You're looking at investments in irrigation, seeds, extension services, and all of that. Despite these strong showing by the agricultural sector in the first quarter of 2025, food prices remain uncomfortably high, raising urgent questions about the disconnect between production gains and market realities. And we are told that from the latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service on Consumer Price Index, food inflation stood at 22.8%, and this is a 4.4 percentage point higher than the overall inflation, which currently stands at 18.4%. We have everyday food items such as yam, ginger, herring, plantain, among others, that were the main drivers of food inflation. So you have an ironic situation where food production has increased, but food prices are still very, very high. And I think the good news here for me is that we are seeing a lot of growth in the agricultural sector, and that the agricultural sector has grown from 2.9% Samens in 2024. We've moved from 2.9% to 6.6% this year. That's exciting. There is more we can do if you look at how much arable lands, how many arable lands we have, and the water bodies that we have. It means that if we did a lot more, we could do more to reduce our food inflation, which is a major driver of our overall inflation. And then somehow, when we figure out the other complex issues, then we should be able to drive down the prices. But as it stands now, food production has shot up, but food prices are still very high. Very interesting situation that we have at hand.
We are contributing to the development of this country by making sure that people attend the AgriFair.
Very important.
And the whole essence of the AgriFair is to promote our local produce and also put our farmers on the platform for promotion and possible exchanges in terms of transactions. So for us, that's what we are doing with this. But we can talk about the food inflation and its effect. I mean, I think that to be fair, food inflation month on month is decreasing. And that's the point that we need to make. Started from 26% in thereabouts in January, moved to 25, 24 in February. Let me see. 26.5 in February, March 25, and then May 18.4. And this is month on month. Year on year is what you talked about. And for me, I think year on year is significant, it's indicative, but the real thing is what progress are we making? And I think that from January all the way through May, we are seeing some progress. It could be better. I mean, when you're dealing with the international markets and I'm talking about the produce market, where you are competing with farmers from the US, from Canada. US is like 2% food inflation. Canada 1.3% food inflation year on year. And we are hitting 22 point something percent.
Yeah, 22.8%.
Yeah, 22, so there's work to be done. Basically, there's work to be done.
Yeah.
And so, as part of what we do, we are saying that from the 20th to 22nd of this month, we are all gathering at the IFWA Sutherland Children's Park, where we showcase local produce from crop to livestock to fish and and all those things. So we'll be there, and then there'll be kebab, there'll be drinks, there'll be a party and all that. So
and we are adding clinics to it as well.
Yes, but lots of companies have registered, and but you see, writing your name doesn't secure you a place.
Documentation.
I'm telling you, if you don't hear it, so if you haven't paid, you don't consider that you've registered. That's the truth of the matter. And so far, we have in excess of 150.
A lot of interest.
Yes, not many people who have registered, but we still want them to pay, and then we can only take so many. After a while, once we get the numbers we are looking for, we are done, and nothing will change. So if you have registered, please call the number and then make sure that you pay, and that's 0205973973.
So this is for those who have products, livestock, crops, everything.
Yes.
Want to, reach a wider market.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you ask me, I want to say that if you haven't registered already, then I'm not so sure you have the space.
Yeah.
But if you've registered already, just pay.
Right.
And then make sure you secure your space properly.
Wow. That's quite interesting. And what excites me also is that we are seeing a lot of growth in crop and livestock. So it means that when we provide the clinics and more people get to take advantage and have the knowledge in the area, they can create, another stream of income. Is a great opportunity. There is growth, consistent growth, and there's an opportunity. This is the best time to go into agric.
Well, I think it's a big opportunity for those who are listening to us.
Yeah.
I keep saying that you don't wait till you go on retirement before you threaten your family that you want to go into farming. Indeed, that will be a threat, because
they'll be worried.
Yeah, they'll be very worried. Yeah, because it takes a lot of work, physical work, hard work, and network, and these days there's technology also in farming, and this is the time. And to be able to generate an additional income to what you get already, it's a good opportunity. So we are not just showcasing produce. We are also in partnership with CSIR and other institutions going to offer the 2-hour workshops. Let me put
2-hour workshops.
2-hour workshops. So each module is for 2 hours.
Okay.
So and it varies. So they'll join us, and then we'll talk about all the things that they want.
Fantastic.
Yeah, quick question. Land tenure is a big deal within the Ghanaian economy. In the agri sector, so many things are going wrong because people don't know who to trust to give money to give them land.
I'm telling you.
The thing we're doing, is there any consideration of those facts so that perhaps maybe we have...
Let me be honest, we are not there. Okay. We are not talking about land. Look, I remember several years ago, I bought some land for farming in the eastern region. This would be like, say, 15 years ago in the eastern region, and that was 10 acres.
Wow, that's a lot of land.
7 acres. Yeah, I wanted 10 acres, eventually. And we went back and forth, paid off, and then the guy gave me, I must confess that I didn't do what you lawyers would do, go to all those things. But everything, it was like genuine. He had been farming on it for years, and I knew him. Not that and then he wrote something on paper, and a cousin of mine was dealing with the thing. And unfortunately, he passed. And when he passed, his family people said they didn't do anything. The land. They just took the thing. I said, yeah, just take the land.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And that's how it ended.
Yeah, that's where it ended. So you're right. This land issue becomes a major issue.
Yeah.
But just be sure of which land you are having.
Yeah.
But these days, some actually lease the land.
Exactly.
And then you pay every year through different arrangements. Some you pay with a percentage of your produce.
Yes.
Yeah, some you pay physical cash and all forms of arrangement. But we want to get into farming. I think that's the whole thing.
That's right. So we have modules for those who are interested in acquiring skills, knowledge and skills in different sectors of the farming. And we'll be doing that